Dear Derry, welcome to Wednesday. This is the problem. The problem with recording everything on Sunday. Recording Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday on Sunday. I get out of the... That really doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Because even when it's like Friday or Saturday, I can't remember what day it is, and I have to stop and go, welcome to... and check what day it is. So, okay, obviously that excuse makes... No, never mind. So welcome to Wednesday. Yeah. It feels like a lot of stuff has happened. You know? It really feels like just a crazy amount of stuff has happened. Part of it is because with EverQuest Next, I gotta stop leaning on the desk. It makes the camera wobble. That's part of the reason why last week I was like this for so long. I was like, oh, this really hurts. I shouldn't do it. It keeps me from putting my arms on the desk and making everything earthquake. I was talking about something. I know I was. With EverQuest Next Landmarks release last week, well, at least the alpha of it. The release of the alpha. There's been a lot of my friends, going on and on and on about it. Of course, I didn't sign up for it. Not sign up, but I didn't buy into the alpha. I didn't get my founders pack. Partly because I couldn't afford it. Between having to kind of fix the car and the upgrading the computer, it's sort of not fix the car as in it's running now. I mean, the last time I had to fix the car, way back when. And then mostly upgrading the computer. I've basically been like, every time I pay bills, I've got like $60 to last me the rest of the month. So, doesn't leave a lot of room for buying a founders pack. And they're granted, there have been a lot of people who've said, dude, I will give you a thing. No, because the other half of the thing is that I don't want one. And a lot of my friends, they don't understand why that is, because clearly, I'm involved in the Into the Portal show. Clearly I'm interested in, EverQuest Next Landmark and EverQuest Next. So why wouldn't I want to get in on this thing? Do I not want to support the thing? It's not that. It's not that at all. If that's all it were, then I would accept the gift. The simple fact of the matter is, if I'm going to get involved in the alpha or the beta or whatever, I am going to feel, because I've done QA for so long, I will feel compelled to test this damn game. And it's not that I don't want to do that. I would have no problem QAing the game if they were paying me. As a QA tester, I got paid for, well over 10 years. I get paid to test games. So it's mercenary of me. I know. It's a little bit dickish. I know. And who knows? It might even hurt my chances of possibly maybe someday getting to do a voiceover in the game, in the game proper, in EverQuest Next. Could be. I don't know. Maybe. But that's just the way I am about it. Part of the reason for having all these people get in on the alpha is to really get in there and wring the thing out. And I think that's a great plan. I think it's a wonderful plan. I think it's a great thing that they're doing. With the caveat that if I'm going to be doing it, I'm going to get paid for it. So there, but that's just because I've done QA for so long. Now move on from that, because that's 4.5 minutes of talking about. See, clearly, it's not that I'm tired, because if it were, I would not be able to stop yawning so easily. I don't. So some other things that happened, most of them today, it seems, or at least that occurred to me today. One, something I tweeted not too long ago that is currently at 8:15 in the evening on Wednesday. So, I guess it was a couple of hours ago. I tweeted that, don't. I can feel that yawn starting right here. I tweeted that if you go to Carl's Jr., for those of you on the East Coast, that would be Hardee's. That if you go and you tell them that you want the chili cheese fries, but replace the regular fries with, what? Okay, sorry. Somebody's pinging me on Skype. I turn off all the alerts and notifications on this thing, and Skype is still, tweak, shut up! If you have them replace the regular French fries with the sweet potato fries, that's a weird flavor. I mean, it's a good kind of weird, but it has kind of an Indian food sort of flavor because you get the spiciness from the chili, but the sweet from the sweet potato fries. Very strange, but it's actually kind of tasty. Just saying. So if you've got a place that does chili cheese fries and they also do sweet potato fries, see if you can get them to, put them together and try it. It's interesting. Damn it. I think it was yesterday. I looked at something somebody had tweeted, and they were talking about how old they were, and I was like, God, that's like half my age, like exactly half my age. And then it occurred to me, wait a minute, that happened to me. There was a point where I was exactly half my mother's age. And then part of my brain said, of course, you idiot. Everybody has that happen in their life. At some point, you will be exactly half of your parents' age. That's just the way it works. And I was like, oh yeah. I mean, that realization occurred to me a long time ago, but every now and again it comes back up. And it still has that sparkly newness of, oh, that's kind of cool. And whatever. I have two other things here. The first one, don't. The first one is a pet peeve of mine. And I've never understood that phrase in particular, a pet peeve. For one, the word peeve is just odd to me. I don't know where it came from. I've never bothered to look up its etymology. Two, I don't understand why it's a pet. I don't know if that's just the phrase pet peeve is bizarre to me. Now, the phrase pet peeve is not a pet peeve of mine, but this one particular issue is, and it is something that I see happening a lot, and it really gets on my nerves very quickly. It's a pet peeve, of course it does. That's what pet peeves tend to do. And that is people interrupting other people while they're talking. Or interrupting me, whichever. In particular, somebody asks me a question, and I start to answer, and I'm not even through the first sentence, and they interrupt me. That is a surefire way to piss me the hell off real fast. I mean, really fast. Because if you want to know the answer, shut the hell up and let me give it to you. So otherwise, you will probably get away with that once, that I will stop and I'll wait for you to finish. But if you do it again, I may stop and let you finish, and then I'll be like, are you done? And then, they're like, yeah, why? It's like, because if you interrupt me again, I'm going to snap your damn head off. You ask me a question. No, I won't say that. That'll be like the fourth time you interrupt me. And I'll start treating you like a 3-year-old at that point. it's like the second time that you wind up interrupting me, or the third time, will be like, I mean, are you sure you're done? Because, I don't want to have you interrupting me again. If you've got more to say, get it off your chest right now. Just get it out in the open and finish saying whatever the hell it is you're going to say, because I don't want you interrupting me again before I finish answering the question you've asked me. And that's usually where it's kind of the bailiff whacking you in the PP with a ballpoint pen to make you kind of go, oh, right, I was doing that, wasn't it? Yes, you were. And oh my God, am I going to point that out to you in extremely condescending ways if you do that. That's what I mean by treat you like a 3-year-old later on. Because if you do it again, I'm just either going to start talking louder, or I'm going to be like, shut up, just fucking snap at you and just tell you to shut the... You get the point. To me, interrupting like that is a sign of intense disrespect. And there are very few things that will piss me off faster than that. And it doesn't necessarily have to be people talking to me. If I hear somebody talking to someone else and the person is talking and then this person interrupts them, it's like, I just want to rush in and say, you shut the hell up and let him finish. Stop interrupting and talking over people. You had information you wanted, let him give it to you, and then you can respond, but stop this. It just drives me batshit. I hate it. So, last thing. It occurred to me with PvP. I don't know why this didn't, well, not PvP, sorry, no, it's not PvP. It was something, I think it was in the round table. Yes, it was. It was in the EverQuest Next round table with Omid and Terry, where they were talking about special servers and whatnot. And I was like, oh my God. But they only listed 2 kinds, really. I mean, the third kind is implicit. It's just a normal server. And then they had PvP servers and RP servers that they mentioned 3, and then the third one was the hybridization of the 2. And that's all well and good and everything. But it occurred to me, why doesn't because you've got so many people, because it's not just the PvP thing, and it's not really about the PvP thing at all, but the idea of specialized servers just kind of brought it to the forefront of my mind. I was watching somebody else. We're talking about, it was on the Pantheon, Rise of the Fallen. It was in the forums for that, and people are just going back and forth about fast travel and whether it's killing the immersion of the game. And I'm like, okay, my opinion on this is, if you are only interested in you going to a dungeon and just absolutely destroying said dungeon, going back to town, selling your stuff, doing a little crafting, getting better gear, whether you make it or it drops for you or whatever, and then going back out to a dungeon and doing this thing, and this is all you're interested in, and the rest of the game is useless to you, for one, that really kind of, sucks, because there's a lot of other content between the town and the dungeon that, you're missing out on, but clearly you don't care about that. So what I propose, here's what I propose. Somebody make a game, and all it is, and you could call this Torchlight if you wanted, all it is, or Diablo, all it is just the town and the dungeon. And that's it. There's nothing in between. There's no huge rolling landscapes or anything for you to travel through. You just leave town, zone directly into a dungeon. And then you go through and you just rape face in the dungeon, and then you go back to town and sell off all your stuff. And craft up whatever you want, and then go back out into the dungeon again. And you call it Dungeon Town, and that's the whole game. There's nothing else to it. But when I thought of it, I was like, oh, Dungeon Town, yeah, that'd be great. And I was like, oh, maybe I could think of another title. I was like, yeah, Diablo 3 or Torchlight. Okay, well, that sucks, because apparently they kind of already came up with, okay, so maybe if you take Diablo 3 and make it kind of sort of pseudo first person kind of thing, so it's more like, maybe that would be, just so it's not the 2D, 3D isometric angled down thing. Yeah, Dungeon Down. There you go. Make the thing. And people wonder why I don't go back to work at EA. Why I don't want to. If you haven't heard about what they did with Dungeon Keeper, go watch Total Biscuit. I will put a link down below to Total Biscuit's his video on the, God, I don't even want to say it, on Dungeon Keeper. And oh man, I cannot imagine how developers like Chesco, who made the Frostfall mod for Skyrim, how they feel right now. Well, I can imagine how he feels right now, because Total Biscuit ripped EA a new one in the review, exactly, and then basically turned around and said, but there's this other, the spiritual successor to Dungeon Keeper that is everything that it was and better, called War for the Overworld, which is one of the things that Chesco is working on. So it's like, so yeah, he probably feels pretty good about Total Biscuit saying that Dungeon Keeper, the new one, definitely sucked, and pointing everybody towards War for the Overworld, because it's I've looked into it too, and it's very, very cool. I would love to do voice acting for that, but I don't think there's much to it, it's just, there's not a whole lot of, they've got the narrator, basically the big horned demon dude, and I think that's about all they need. The only other thing that they could possibly need is like, sound effects for like the imps, or whatever, something like that. But they could get anybody to do that. I still wouldn't mind doing it, but whatever. Anyway, that's all the notes that I have for today, and we are at 17 and a quarter minutes. So I'll let you guys go, and I will talk to you tomorrow, which will be Thursday, though it may be late because I've got money in my bank account again. I am going to chicken tomorrow. I also have dates for steady, everybody. Not that kind of date. I have flight dates for my trip to go visit my dad in Houston. I'll talk about that another time. It's still 2 weeks out, so don't worry about that. Well, a week and a half out. Anyway, but obviously I'll be gone during that week. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Probably late, but still. Until next time, be careless.